All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tom. I'm a full-time eBay reseller and a stay-at-home dad for 6 children. And that's a lot, in case you weren't aware, in case you didn't hear that number 6 and go, what? Most people do. Anyway, let's try to do this kind of quick. I got 9 items to ship for $243. And while that's a little bit low, I'll go over the cost of goods. The cost of goods is crazy low also. So amongst these things, amongst these 9 items, I have 1 item that I paid $6 for, and nothing else was more than $3. So sale price is pretty low, but the cost of goods is ridiculously low. First up, we have these willow trees, and I picked them up because they were cheap and they were African-American, black, brown, people of color. 2001. This one says 2000. Oh, they both say 2001. And they're just different sizes. They ended up not being worth listing individually, but I paid $1 for the pair, and they sold for $11 free shipping. I picked them up. I couldn't comp anything where I was, and I had suspected that those were really good, and then they weren't. I got them at the same place I got, like, Caleb and Levi and Asher were with me, and we got like the Wolfman thing, which neither of those Halloween articles sold yet, and Halloween is over as of yesterday. Carhartt pocket tee, would have paid $3 for this at Goodwill, and it sold for $11.99 plus shipping. It's been listed a long time. Oh, these shoes back here, these I've had forever. These are a classic Chukka style shoe. This is like, it's an old style of boot. It's called a Chukka. Paid $3 for H-Bar. C is a good name brand of Western shirt. Everybody knows Wrangler. H-Bar C is a less known but pretty high quality vintage Western shirts. This one, it's a little hard to see, but it's really faintly pink with like that silver cool pearl snap. I bought a bunch of pearl snaps for $3 a piece, and they ended up selling through. Most of them went within like 6 or 8 weeks of getting listed, not getting bought because it took me forever to list them. And they sold for, somebody wrote their initials on the inside of that shirt. And I was like, oh crap, is that a stain? Anyway, most of them sold for 6 or 8 weeks. I still have, I think I bought 20 of them, and I still have 5 or 6 left. But most of them are sold. All style tag, kind of a vintage tag. Sometimes that's called AAA because you can see 1, 2, 3 A's. It's all style apparel and activewear. AAA or all style. And this is a Griswold Christmas Vacation. National Lampoon Christmas Vacation. I paid $1 for this, but it's probably been 2 years ago. Sold for $9 plus shipping. Paid 40 cents a piece for a bunch of these game guides. Brady game guides do well, and Prima game guides do well, and other game guides can do well, but generally speaking, Brady and Prima are the ones to look for. This kind of weird anime, things that are going to be for role-playing games, RPGs, Final Fantasy, that kind of stuff are going to do better for you. I had 2 of these, and one of them had a big, like, huge crease and then was torn at the bottom. It sold yesterday in a lot for like $12 for all of them, but it was the only real valuable one. And then this one sold for $19.99 free shipping. Like I said, I've got 40 cents a piece into all of those. Paid $1 a piece for a bunch of CDs, hoping that they would do better than they did. And these sold for $12.90 free shipping. So, I mean, there is some money to be made there. I don't like to try to sell media as one-offs. This CD would sell for about $10 by itself. So then I added these 2. Could have done this one for $10 by itself and done these 2 for $6 or $7. but I felt like this would get the sale faster, and I was right. Well, I mean, I suppose I was right. I got the sale fast. Those were listed for a day and sold for $12.50. These I paid 50 cents a piece for. They're like comic book versions of the Bible. It's 1 through 3. There's only 3 volumes. In the beginning, the chosen people would probably be number 2, and then Jesus and the early church. Yeah. So then these, I paid 50 cents a piece for these, and they are sold for $24 free shipping. And those I've only had a handful of weeks. And then the last thing was featured as a thumbnail in a video recently. She sold, I ended up listing her for $70, and that was cheap by comparison to the comps, but I paid $2 2 days ago, and maybe I could have held out and got $20 more, $25 more. But to sell it in 2 days, it's not worth it. I don't want to have it sit, so I'm going to price it at a price that makes it move quickly. That's the game. Like, because now getting my $2 investment back, but now I have, this is something that I think about a lot. Like, I could sit with that potential for 25 more dollars all in the store for a long time. But when I have that actual $70, and I mean less fees and shipping and all that, but the point carries that I have that $70 now in my hand. Let's call it $50 back in my hand to then take to Goodwill and put back on something else. If you're playing craps at the table, and I've never played craps and I don't even actually really understand it, but the point is, like, once you have the money, you put it back on the table, you roll it, you keep the increase coming, and letting that sit in my store for another week to maybe get $20 more, or maybe get enough lowball offers that I end up taking the 70 anyway. It doesn't make sense to me when the point is snowballing the thing into wealth, as opposed to just holding on to see if I can get top dollar for stuff. I feel like that's a way to get stuck with stuff. And I'm not going to get stuck with that Hello Kitty plush, but if I hold it hoping to get $20 more, it's already like, it's like a 350% profit. So should I take the 350% profit? Or should I hold out for 400% profit? Like, I don't know. I think I told a friend of mine I sold that, and his immediate response was, that was too low. And I'm like, too low for who? Too low for me? No, I priced it at that price. Too low for the buyer? No. They obviously were excited to get it. Too low. No, it wasn't too low. Too low for you, who wasn't really involved in it. And too low for, like, and like, so for the market. I am not beholden to the market. I think I've said that a lot of times. I think there are a lot of people who are like, oh, it's a race to the bottom and drive down sales. And maybe that's true if I'm in the Hello Kitty vintage plush market. But the idea that I'm ever going to find one of those again is slim and none. So I'm a flash in the pan on the Hello Kitty plush market. So I'm not affecting the market. And it's not, in my brain, it isn't logical to not get the return as fast as possible. And I beat this horse to death every video, so I'm going to let it go. I've got 9 items to ship out, and that's for $243.65. And the mail already ran today, and now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm going to try and get this stuff packaged quickly. And then when you guys seemed so interested in the death pile in that last video, I will probably go take some looks at the death pile before I got to go get those boys from school in like 90 minutes or so. So this is attacking from the other way. The other door, the door I was standing like right here, looking at the stuff in the death pile there. Like you can see, here's the ceiling fan that we saw, and then the like here where these lunch boxes are, back there. That is where the Sony Handycam was. And I pulled that, and it is listed now. Because there's just no sense in not listing it when I know that it's there and I know that it works, and I'm going to get comments about my eyebrow, but I'm not going to do anything about it. This shelf, it's hard to do behind you. This shelf, I'm not Vanna White or the Weatherman, is mostly listed stuff. Like all of the lights right here and these micro machines, the car track, this train track, these are Santa Claus figures. So everything that you can see on the top shelf is listed. Maybe going farther down, some of it's listed. None of this is listed. This is like, I bought like 700 CDs all at once on a high bid auction. I paid like 15 cents a piece for them. That was a bad decision. So, but like, just tons of stuff. And I will say, before our German friend yells at me, most of my books are in better storage shape than that. But like, underneath all of this cardboard is boxes and boxes of, like you can see, for perspective, there's a toy box. So this is a huge mountain of stuff. Most of these, some of these are empty boxes, but underneath there's boxes and boxes of antique books. And I got them all from what I can refer to as the Hoarder House. And I would say, as a whole, looking back at it now, that was not a good venture, because it is holding me back so heavily. My store isn't growing because I'm overwhelmed with Hoarder House stuff. So I need to, maybe that'll be the rest of the video. We'll go set up camera over there and I'll deal with, because ultimately what I want to do next is put a shelf against the back of this shelf and then have like 2 layers there of inventory instead of 1. But right now you couldn't get to either of them, because of books that'll probably never get listed. And there's a giant Kedge shoe store display and Godzilla Boggle and some hats, and there's a Hulk Buster. That box right there, these are all books that I've already decided need donated. And so is all of this. Like, this is where the Handycam was yesterday, and now it's not there anymore. This is stuff that could get listed, but like all of this is books and books and books that are just in the way and need donated or recycled. A lot of them are just junk nobody's ever going to want, and so I could donate them to Goodwill until they get thrown away, or I could donate them to another charity where I feel like the money would be better used, but it would choke them out. So yeah, dilemmas, right? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of CDs. Harry Potter 1, 5, and 4. And I have multiple copies of 5 and 4. This is the only one that I have. But none of them, even, this is a first. This is first printing, first edition, first American edition. And it's really not worth listing by itself. And then I hang on to stupidity. Like, what if I have what if I get a really good tape in a broken case? Let me hang on to these tape cases forever. Then I won't remember it when I have one. This is kind of fun. Are you having fun? This thing was left at this house when we bought it. And it's worth money, but I don't want to try to ship it. But I don't want to give it away. But I don't want to use it. I don't know. Fred Flintstone is not worth messing with. That's like John Goodman, Fred Flintstone, and it talks. And this is a giant genie in the box. And this I had designs on keeping at some point, but I'm not doing anything with it, obviously. Oh, those are heaters. I should probably bust one of those out. Some retail arbitrage I did at Disney World. Haunted Mansion chess set. Put up comps. I think I paid $40 something, maybe $50 a piece for them. A couple of people mentioned the laundry when I mentioned the laundry in the last video, and or the video that posted today. Maybe it's not the last one you guys saw, but anyway, the laundry, the washing machine. Other people comment when they come to my house. These go 24 hours a day. We will go to bed and program them to run in the middle of the night, so that they're running when people aren't taking a shower and the water heater's filled back up and stuff. But when you have 8 people, that's laundry never stops. More laundry. So you remember how I said I had 90 minutes? Yeah, I went in the house to go to the bathroom, and then I was like, oh, that mess needs cleaned up. Oh, I haven't talked to my wife all day, so I talked to her. And then I was trying to fix something that Judah messed up, and get the stinking, they have the jelly things that are on a string, and you fling them at the wall and it sticks to the wall, and then you use the jelly string thing to pull it back. They got one stuck inside the skylight, so I was trying to get that down. Yeah. So I didn't get as far as I wanted to get, and then I'm like, okay, I have a half an hour until I have to go get the boys. And then the alarm goes off on my phone because it's Wednesday, and Wednesday is a different schedule. So they get out of school half an hour earlier so that their teachers can have time to do the meetings. And I don't resent that at all, but I always forget that it's Wednesday and I have to go get them earlier. So now I'm wasting time talking to you when I should be driving over there to get them. And I'm having a frosty adult beverage because our kids don't drink soda much. All right, so I think we were last talking right here about 2 hours ago, maybe 2.5. And I'm gonna see if I can get an angle here where you guys can see what's going on a little bit, and I'll just time lapse trying to work through some of this stuff. So this tote had some 3-in-1 oil in it that spilled into the bottom, and I was trying to make sure that everything didn't get messy, and there was one thing that did, but it didn't hurt anything, but I needed to get everything out of there before it did get destroyed. So I don't know how much of that you guys have a stomach for, how much of it is interesting, how much you can even see. But this is the hole that I've created fairly quickly. But like, all of these are totally full of books from the hoarder house. And this one is just Ellery Queen. Like, this is Penguin Special Edition, and this is GGA Noir, and it's just box after box after box of that kind of stuff. And there's that football again, the Beatles box. So I need to get this stuff out of the way so I can put a shelf against this, and then have some more places for more inventory that's sorted, and then start getting the stuff that needs listed, and the stuff that needs donated. All right, well, I think I'm going to sign off on this video. It's pretty long, and I'm going to try to get actual work done, and I'll show you on the next video the progress that we made. Deal? Come back. If you subscribe and click the bell, then it'll tell you when that video posts. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and commenting, subscribing, clicking the bell, following, and all the things that you do. We'll see you on the next one.